Looking after my clothes really matters to me. I'm retired, so I'm on a small teacher's pension. I live a sort of modest, quiet life, but I love my clothes. So I realise I've got lots of little habits and routines that I use to when I'm buying them, when I'm looking after them, washing them, storing them, organising my clothes into the season. So I'm going to share a few of them today with my sort of 3 top tips, really. Hope you stick around and watch this video. If so, see you in a minute. Hello, my name's Mick. Hello, my name's Ree. If you haven't met me before, I have just turned 60, well, in September, a while ago now. And I retired early a couple of years ago from a really busy and hectic career in teaching. I usually say I'm only 5 foot and a size medium, but it's not really relevant to this video. If you haven't met me before, a warm welcome here, and I hope you'll consider sticking around and subscribing. And welcome back to all my lovely regulars and subscribers. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. This video came about because I was talking to one of my friends last week. We were on a walk, a group of us were on a walk, and he's a dear friend who's in his early 70s, and he's just separated recently from his wife. He's getting divorced. She's really sad, and a horrible age for that to happen, especially when it's, quite unexpected. Anyway, he was talking about, ironing and how it was obviously a bit of a traditional role in their marriage, and she used to do most of the sort of washing and ironing. And he said now, to remind himself to iron his clothes, he'll sort of hang them outside the wardrobe. And then after a few days, he just put the trousers on, creased, and put the unironed shirt in the wardrobe. And that seemed to be a bit of an ongoing thing. And as we were talking, I realised that over the years, as a lot of people have, that I've developed all sorts of routines and habits about looking after my clothes, and ironing and washing. And I'm going to briefly share some of those, which might be very different from yours. And I'm going to be brief, hopefully not going to bore you. But it did make me think how these habits and routines really support me, because I do, I quite enjoy the routine of looking after my clothes because it's a everyday occurrence. Anyway, try not to waffle, I'm trying to organise them into 3 sections. And my first one is how I choose my clothes and the fabrics. So I was watching a video that Nana M was doing, Lynn from Nana M. She's looks beautiful in her clothes, and she's really stylish. Don't know if you've seen her channel. And she was wearing a crisp white shirt from M&S, and I thought she just looked absolutely fantastic. But it wouldn't be something that I would necessarily choose, because I wear a lot of clothes that are really easy to wash and iron and dry, because that fits in my lifestyle. In a past life, I was married for 20 years, 4 children. They're all grown up now, 4 boys. So I used to spend a lot of time washing and ironing school shirts. On a Sunday night, I'd be ironing about 20 shirts. My ex-husband's, the children's school shirts, yeah. And that just seemed such a chore. So now for myself, that I'm retired and I want, to have more time for myself, I tend to be really careful with the fabrics I choose. I always look at the label. Obviously, sort of natural fabrics, silks, cottons, linens, they last longer, they're better quality, and I still do buy some of those fabrics, especially for items that, classic items. I've got a wool coat, which I bought secondhand actually, but I will look after those, and I'll have that in my wardrobe 5 years, 10 years time. But for every day, I will wear something like this, so, you know, a long sleeve t-shirt, a cardigan or a little easy washable jacket over the top. I've got sort of stretched jeans on now, and those fit in with my lifestyle at the moment. So the first thing is I'll always look at a label. I will look at the washing instructions. I don't want it to be dry clean only. I'll rarely buy dry clean only clothes, if at all ever now. And I want to be able to sort of wash it easily. We don't have a tumble dryer, and that's by choice. We hang all our washing out to dry. In the summer it's outside. But yeah, so my first tip is looking at the label, easy care for me, looking at the fabrics and seeing, you know, is this fabric going to last, or is it going to be difficult for me to wash? I do go for a lot of combinations like cotton, polyester, because they're still, you know, they're quite durable and they will wash and dry and less ironing than a lot of the just sort of pure cotton or pure natural fabric. So yeah, not ideal, but that's what I do for ease. So habit 2 is all about washing, drying and ironing. And it's Monday when I'm filming this, Monday morning, and I've already had some washing in. I store my washing in the bathroom in a little sort of, I'll show you, it's a little covered stool thing. It's only quite small because I wash quite frequently. I will wear clothes just once on the whole and wash them in a very light wash and dry them naturally on the line in the summer, but over a rack, which I'll show you. Barney keeps his washing separately. We've got a very brand new, lovely walk-in wardrobe stroke dressing room, which I'll show you a little bit of that. And he keeps his in sort of a mesh container. And we do our washing on the whole separately, but I tend to do a bit more of his, if that makes sense. In that, he's very active, so he'll go biking, he'll have work clothes, and I don't want them in with my nice clothes, so he'll put all those in the wash. But his ordinary clothes, I'll add to my washing, because I will look to see if there's anything to wash every single day, and that's a throwback from when I had a big family. So I don't wash every day because it, you know, it wouldn't be efficient, and there wouldn't be enough, but probably I wash, put things in the wash 3 or 4 times a week. Always do the bedding on a Thursday. That's a habit had for years. Thursday or a Friday, get the bedding done. But the rest of the time I will look, you know, Monday, Tuesday I'll look again, but there's probably not anything there. Wednesday, yeah, probably another wash to go in. Does that make sense? So I am always looking. So I'm always on top of it. You know, I'll never have an overflowing, a massively overflowing washing basket, the exception being when I come back from holiday, and that will be the first thing I'll get onto. The days after the holiday, I'll be washing and drying. So that's my routine. I'm always on top of it, and it serves me well because I don't really think about it. Just such a habit. I'll just, you know, get some washing. Oh, get some washing in. I sort mine. This is another thing why we separate off, why we do it separately a little bit, because Barney not so much, but I will sort mine into colours. So I'll have a pile of whites, which I can wash a little bit hotter, or another pile of sort of lighter colours, or mixed colours, bright colours, and then the dark wash. So I will sort mine into those colours, maybe do the darks one day and add bits of Barney's clothes into it from his washing basket. He will literally just put them all in together. And I don't overfill the washing machine. I think it needs to be 3/4. It needs to be full. There needs to be a bit of space for it to go around. He, in my opinion, hope he doesn't watch this video, overfills it a little bit too much. But we're all different, aren't we? And then with the drying, we dry it in our utility on racks, and I will put a bit of, I'll link a little bit in. I won't link it. I will, after I've finished talking, go and film it and add it in for you to see. Yeah, we use drying racks outside in the summer, in the spring, we'll put it on the line, and it's just so much nicer, isn't it? Having washing on the line, really fresh. And you have to cross your fingers it doesn't rain, but hey ho. I do most of my washing, apart from bedding and towels, but the rest of it, nearly everything, will go on 30 degrees. Just do all, it'll help the environment and also helps look after your clothes. The lighter the wash they have, I think sort of the the better they stay in shape. I don't know if I'm working that word in that properly, but you know what I mean, don't you? The less damage is done when you wash them at a lower temperature, and of course it's good for the environment. And then in terms of ironing, again, I have a routine and I will look every single day to see if there's any ironing. Not that I iron every day, I probably iron maybe 3 or sometimes 4 times a week. Very, very small quantities. So as the things are drying, I will fold them, put them away, or hang them up. I sometimes hang them up to dry. And then as things need ironing, so it might be, 5 or 6 items, I will then iron them. And I do it in what I call habit stacking. So ironing isn't that fun. It's fun when it's done and it's fun to be organised, but it's not that fun doing ironing. And years ago when I used to have a big pile of ironing, I'd be totally overwhelmed and keep wanting to put it off. But now, because of my routine, I don't ever feel like that. It's just, an everyday occurrence. So I will get the ironing board out, I will put some YouTube on, and I'll watch a video while I'm ironing. And I always, this is a thing, I always only get 3 items of clothing out. So I don't have the big basket of ironing, not that I have a big basket, it won't be there. I'll have folded the clothes ready for ironing in the utility room, and I will bring 3 items of clothing and iron them. So in my mind, I've only ever got to do 3. If after I've done those 3, I'm just not feeling it, I'll leave it and do another 3 the next day. That will rarely happen, because after I've done 3, I think, oh, I'll just do another 3. That was easy enough. I'm warmed up into it now, watching my YouTube, distracted, or just watch the next bit, do the next 3, and then, oh, well, I've only got another 3 or 4 to do, so I'll do the third 3, 9, and then do the last one. Now, I know my mum's seen me do this, and she goes, what are you doing? Or Barney, when we were first living together, would bring thought, well, why are you going back and forth, and bring kindly, and here's mine, bring it over. I was going, no, it's psychological. I'm only ever ironing 3 items at a time. Is that a bit silly? Does that make sense to you? But I just don't want to be overwhelmed with it, and it makes me feel like, oh, this is easy. I've also got a little hand steamer that I sometimes use if something needs freshening up, like a coat or something that I wouldn't wash, but I rarely use it, to be honest. I don't think it works brilliantly. I used to be a manager of a charity shop, and we had, an industrial style steamer, and that was brilliant. But the hand one that we've got, which is from Argos or somewhere, was, I don't know how much it was, about 20 quid something. It wasn't very expensive, but it's not brilliant. It's good for freshening something up, but not absolutely brilliant. But yeah, so that's my routine. So my tip 2 is about the washing, ironing and drying. And my routine is that I'll be totally on top of it. I'll be looking to see if I need to put washing in every day. Almost the minute that I get up, after I clean my teeth, I'll put washing in before I do my stretching exercises. I'll be on top of the ironing, because again, I will look every single day. If there's only 2 or 3 items, I'll iron them, put them away. So I've only ever got a small amount, and I dry mainly over racks or outside rather than the tumble dryer. So yeah. What do you do? Be interesting to know. Anyway, tip or habit number 3. This is an aside, really. I thought that I just had before I get into habit number 3. Is, in my parents' generation, it would be my mum that did all the washing and the ironing. She still worked full time, but she did the traditional role of, the cleaning and the things in the house, organising the house, as well as working full time. And I know from my generation, a lot of my friends did also take on that role. Me, not so much. Probably did more in the house and more, looking after clothes, the washing, the ironing, than my ex-husband, but he still did do a lot. But I've got 4 boys and I taught all of them as soon as they were early teenagers. I taught them how to sort their clothes into different piles of to how to use the washing machine. And they, from the age of about 13 or 14, on the whole, I kept an eye on it, but on the whole, they did most of their washing. I would definitely iron their school shirts because they did have a habit of just ironing the front, or, going. I didn't want them going to school crease, but by the time they were at sixth form, they would be ironing their own clothes. They knew how to do it for themselves. And why shouldn't we teach them? I was taught as quite a young child how to put the washing machine on, probably about 9 or 10, of how to look after my things. And we've got to teach boys as well. You can't have equality if we're not actually teaching them and encouraging them to do it. I don't know how it is nowadays, but yeah, where women of my generation are in that transition from, of being more equality, and the expectations have changed. But yeah, that's an aside. Storage. Number 3 is storage. Storage so matters because it stops creasing, and if you're storing them properly and hanging them properly and you've got a little bit of room for your things, it stops creasing, it stops damage. You can see exactly what clothes you've got. You know, it's just really important thing. I like to be organised, and I'm really lucky because Barney has just made me a new made us. He's got a little part of it, a new walk-in wardrobe, and I'll show you a little bit in a minute. But so I like my clothes to be organised. I like all the same things together so that I can see what I've got. I like all the hangers to be the same colour on the whole. I have gold hangers, some wooden hangers. And I like things to be sort of really neat. I do a lot of decluttering. I have out of season stuff in storage, in boxes up in the attic. We've got 2 boarded attics. It's sort of, a working space really. And so I have my out of season clothes in there. So at the moment, the summer clothes are there. And every time, there's a swap over, I will declutter, and I can be absolutely ruthless. And I always take it to charity shops, and in my mind I think, I can't make a mistake because someone else will love it, or I'm supporting the charity. So, even if I think, oh, why did I give that away? No, it's okay because someone else will be wearing it, loving it, and I've helped the charity. So it takes away that anxiety of, oh, do I need to give that away? Anyway, that's often a tangent really. I will show you, it's easier to show you how I store my things and why it's important. So this is our new, not quite finished, walk-in wardrobe stroke dressing room. And Barney's got this double space at the end, and I've got a double. I put my finger there, and a single. And I realise this video is going on for a really long time, so maybe this should be a different one, but I'll just show you briefly for this point. So I like space between my clothes, if I can do that, so they've got a little bit of room to breathe. I like all the hangers the same colour, so I've got gold hangers, although the heavier clothes are on wooden hangers, either plain wooden, or Barney has white ones and I pinched one of his for there. But I like the uniformity. And the reason that I go for metal hangers is because you can get more clothes in if they're on a metal hanger. And they're these are all my outerwear, my coats, my shorter coats and my jackets, and they're sort of colour coordinated-ish. So I've got longer coats in here, I think. The heavier items need a wooden hanger because they won't cope on the little metal ones. I use the little metal ones because you can get more in your wardrobe, and I like the continuity. I've got this lovely little trouser space here. And over here, I've got drawers that I'm starting to organise, and I put things in these little dividers so everything's together, and generally I will roll. Shoes in here, I've got 2 along our corridor and put them in here. And I use these little things that you put in the dryer to keep them fresh. I use them when I'm packing as well. Also got this double wardrobe with things sort of a bit out of season or things that I don't use so much on the top, and some drawers on the bottom. And in this particular one, I've got sort of jumpers and some trousers in there. A lot of neutrals. Colours are in the other one. Anyway, I better stop here. I feel this video is going to be hours long. So, summary. Who doesn't love a summary? So I've got 3 habits and routines that help me. So fabric, choosing the fabric when I'm buying my clothes. 2, washing, ironing, drying. I've got a really good routine that suits me. And the 3rd one is storage. So be really interested to know if you have a routine. Are you someone who loves ironing? Are you someone who, you know, leaves the basket to pile high and does it all in one go? Some people don't iron at all, you know, that's up to them. What about clothes storage? You know, how do you store yours? Do you have them all squashed in? I do many a time. Be good to know. I know I'm very lucky that I've got a lot of clothes storage, but there's just me and Barney in the house now, so we've, you know, got a dedicated dressing room. We've got room for that. Not when the kids were small, didn't have any room for that at all then. But yeah, please write in the comments, let me know your thoughts, what you do. If there's anything you think you'd like to try that you picked up from me, or if you just think, oh my God, she's crazy, let me know. Okay, nice to see you. Take care. Bye.